Hola y bienvenidos a Cripto con Café. Mi nombre es Alberto y les vengo a hablar sobre el mundo de la blockchain y el mercado de las criptomonedas. En este episodio les traigo una entrevista muy especial y va a ser nuestra primera edición del programa en inglés, ya que tenemos de invitado especial a John McAfee, candidato presidencial de los Estados Unidos por el Partido Libertario, criptoinfluencer, programador, experto en seguridad y creador del famoso antivirus McAfee. Con él vamos a charlar hoy sobre privacidad, sobre la relación del Estado al individuo y lo que viene a ser el papel de cripto en todo esto. También tocaremos temas como las criptomonedas respaldadas por gobiernos o bancos centrales, como el próximo Yuan digital y el Petro. Todo esto y mucho más aquí en Cripto con Café, con John McAfee. El episodio de hoy es presentado por Paxful. Paxful es un mercado impulsado por personas que brinda a todo el mundo el acceso para comprar, vender o intercambiar bitcoins instantáneamente. Con Paxful, las personas tienen la oportunidad de recuperar el control de su dinero como nunca antes lo habían hecho. Crea tu cuenta hoy mismo para recibir un monedero de bitcoin gratis y comienza a comerciar de inmediato. Nunca volverás a ver el dinero de la misma manera. So, hello everyone and welcome to Crypto con Café. My name is Alberto and this is a very special edition in English because we have a very special guest. Mr. John McAfee, presidential candidate, tech entrepreneur, crypto influencer. Thank you and welcome, Mr. McAfee.
Well, thank you for having me on. I'm looking forward to our conversation. I like the title of your show, Crypto con Café. There you go.
So, how do you see this relationship between politics and crypto and blockchain? Do you think that they can go together? Or is just like one a representation of the antithesis of the other?
Crypto, well, listen, it frightens governments. Anything that frees people to carry out financial transactions without their oversight frightens governments, especially large governments that exist on the taxation of its citizens. So, you see, from countries like China that's coming out with the digital yuan. I promise you, America will come out with the digital dollar. All countries we have it just makes perfect sense. Think about it. It saves money and time and provides a great deal of facility for financial institutions. However, it does not bode well for the individual because the application the applications that governments will create will confine the individual even more and remove even more privacies from the individual's life. So what I see is there will be a struggle at some point. There are many like myself that see the freedom inherent in, let's say, privacy coins like Monero and distributed, decentralized exchanges that cannot be shut down by governments and do not require any information on the people who are using these facilities. And that frightens governments even more. So I foresee that privacy coins will be made illegal by some governments at some point because it removes the enforcement abilities of government to enforce financial laws, taxation, and everything else. I'm firmly on the side of the individual. I think that we have lost as a world way too much privacy. And I think that privacy is the foundation of a sane society. Everybody has secrets. I'm sure you do, my friend. People who say you have nothing, if you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to fear, have never looked at themselves, because we all have something to hide. Just from whom? From your wife or husband, from your mother, father, from your boss. Everybody has something. And we need that. We need that freedom to keep things private. And what people do not realize is that you exercise a privacy filter every day of your life with every relationship. We have a filter of privacy from people we don't know. It's insane to take that down with a casual acquaintance, someone that you've met a few times and you know by name and a little about them. You might tell them where you work, what your job is about, or maybe where you live. With a close friend, someone you have known for many years, you might actually say, Jose, yeah, no, I had sex with another woman, and what do you think I should do? Or you might not. It's your choice. You might even tell your wife, or not. So you understand that all of our relationships require a privacy filter. And if everybody knew everything about everyone else, then we would have chaos in the streets. It would be a nightmare. So we have to have privacy, people. We have to. And cryptocurrency, for the first time in many years, has opened a door of opportunity for the individual to take back his life and to have more control over it. Because the key to cryptocurrency is that it is permissionless. It requires no permission from anybody, not your bank. If you want to transfer money to a foreign country, you have to go to the bank and fill out paperwork. No, you don't need anyone's permission, period. And this is, I think, the greatest weapon that individuals have against unjust and corrupt government. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I totally agree with you, because you know that's exactly the narrative that have become powerful here in Latin America. I'm from Venezuela, and I don't know if you're familiar. We have all these obstacles around our situation as a country, and we see cryptocurrency as solutions to many of those problems. But now I'm interested to hear from you. What do you think about these ideas from government-backed cryptocurrency? Like, for example, we in Venezuela, we have Petro, that is a cryptocurrency created by the government to actually do the opposite of pretty much everything that you just said. So
yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, and governments will continue to do that. You have the choice not to use it, at least for now. You have the choice to use the people's cryptocurrencies, and there are many of them, not just Bitcoin, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, on and on. You have a choice, and exercise that choice. Governments might actually make the people's cryptocurrencies illegal. Governments have made many things illegal that people ignore. I mean, I don't know what life is like in Venezuela, but in America, smoking marijuana has been illegal for 75 years, and yet everybody smokes it. I'm sorry.
Well, imagine the situation for us. The government is clever, I will say, because it's using this cryptocurrency to pretty much all the public workers, public administration, or your bonuses or your salary, part of your salary is being paid on that. So it's pretty much forcing certain part of the population to use it. Now, my question is like, do you think that this is good for cryptocurrency because it opens maybe a ramp, a gateway to that idea, to that concept, or everybody should just try to not use it at all and not see anything good about, developing the ecosystem for something like Petro or maybe the digital Yuan?
First of all, I don't know the details of the Petro dollar. And China has not released the details of the digital yuan. My fear is this, is that it will invade every other aspect of your life, because everything is based on finances. I mean, where you live, you pay the rent. Where you shop, you buy your food. The car you drive, you paid for with something. If you medical and your children, everything is not going to be known. Do you understand? Everything by the government. And if that becomes the only legal tender, the only legal means of paying with things, well, then we have a serious, serious problem, I fear. I can't really answer that yet, because we have not seen I think the digital yuan is going to tell us exactly what China has in mind.
Will you use it? Something like the digital yuan?
Me? No,
Yeah.
I could, maybe. I mean, for purchases, I don't really care about, but I'm looking for a world where we all use privacy coins like Monero. And every one of our transactions are between ourselves and the person we are transacting business with, and no one else. And if we choose to tell someone, then okay, but no one should have the right to invade or look into that transaction.
What do you think then that is the main obstacle that people don't see that value on privacy coins? Do you think that it's just the lack of interest, or it's just the mainstream doesn't know the scope of what privacy can mean in your life?
Well, I think it takes time for anything to reach the general public. The criminals are the first people to use every new technology. I mean, Bitcoin, when Bitcoin first came out, the only people using it were people on the dark web selling drugs and other illegal things. And it took a few years for it to reach the general public. So, and privacy coins. And right now, by the way, no one's taking Bitcoin. Everyone's taking Monero on the dark web. But I think people will understand privacy coins through using them and understanding the power of privacy in financial transactions. So, I mean, for example, I have not paid income taxes for 11 years, which is why I'm in hiding from the US government. And the reason I have not is in America, our Constitution strictly forbids it. Strictly forbids it. And before 1913, we had no income taxes. They instituted it because of World War I. And it was supposed to be a temporary measure to be abandoned after the war. But of course, like all laws, they're created very quickly, but very seldom abandoned. And we still have income taxes 100 years after World War I. But so I refused to pay. I stopped. I've already paid over $50 million in income taxes in America, just federal alone, not counting state and local taxes. And I just decided to stop. I refused.
If you were the president of the United States, is your platform based in somehow on deploying maybe a private cryptocurrency as a global scale economy for the country? Or how you will integrate crypto to these plans, let's say?
I think free market concepts take care of themselves. I think government needs to stay out of free markets that need to stay out of the development and use of things like cryptocurrency. That's what's that got to do with the government, other than the government is frightened that people will use it to not pay taxes and for criminal activities. But you cannot stop crime. I mean, criminals use every new technology. When fast automobiles, fast cars appeared in the 1930s, bank robberies increased 1,000% in America because bank robbers could buy a car faster than the local police had, rob a bank, and just wave goodbye with the money and get away. Criminals always use whatever they can to aid their own interests. But it's not the job of individuals to stop crime. And I don't think it's the job of governments to anticipate crime, to go, well, bad people are going to use encryption and therefore you can't have it, or you must let us have access to the back door. Well, not if I build the product. So I don't think government should be involved at all in cryptocurrency. Now, if they want to develop their own, of course, and that makes perfect sense. You know, get rid of the printing costs and the minting costs and all this other stuff, and it's all electronic and everybody's happy. But let the market do its thing as well. And if people want to compete with the government with cryptocurrencies, then okay, be my guest. I think the government should stay out of things it has no business being in.
That's interesting. Now, I mean, that makes total sense, thinking about all these perversions that can be used. But then how will be, let's say, a government led by John McAfee? Like, what would be your idea then what the government should do in this realm? Because here in Latin America, we hear the first solution for maybe financial problems, economic problems, development, jobs. So how you envision then that kind of government led by your ideas?
I think the governments have become far too powerful. When the idea of democracy arose thousands of years ago with the Greeks, it was never implemented correctly. America, the great American experiment, the United States experiment, started out beautifully. The government was designed as a servant of the people to do those things which the people were either unwilling or best be done by a collection of people. Hire a bunch of people who are smart, let them build the roads, okay, what the government should do, and so on. Somehow, between 1776 and today, the government in America went from being a servant of the people to being the people's master. This was not the intent of our democracy, and certainly should not be the intent of any government of the people. No. Where you have strong men and dictators and what have you, I'm sorry, not much I can do for you. Move to another country, possibly. But I think America has been the prototype that all other governments have tried to mimic, to become. And as America grew more and more powerful and corrupt, because believe me, people, if you have power, there is corruption. Then so did other governments around the world. And I do not think governments anymore represent the people. They represent the powerful. The powerful. And who are the powerful? The ones in government, or the ones that assist those in government, like major corporations that donate or give support in some way or the other. More love, more sex, more food, more cars, more money, more kids, more houses, or something. That's called greed. When we give people power, it is the negative aspects of that power that are used. If you cannot see this, well, go back and move in with your mother again, because perhaps she can talk some sense into you.
Yeah.
But no, this is the fact. And so you go, well, what should the government do? No, it's not what should the government do. It's what should we as people do about the government, because power congeals and collects. It's like a magnet. It's like the force of gravity, which sucks everything into it. And that takes time. Governments sometimes 50, 100, 200 years, but it will happen to all governments, people. What we need, well, we need to understand ourselves as a species a little better before we start choosing those people to govern. And govern does not mean tell us what to do. I'm a fucking adult, excuse my language. I don't need people telling me what to do. I know what is right and wrong. And I love like everyone, and I want peace on this earth. So you don't need, please God, to tell me how I should behave. I mean, I was taught that by my mother and father and teachers in school, and I learned it well.
And that's why Bitcoin has power, right? That's where the revolution of Bitcoin came, and that's why it has become a thing. Now, I have a random question for you. Do you check every day the price of Bitcoin?
Do I what now?
Do you check every day the price of Bitcoin?
No, I never check the price of Bitcoin.
You never check the price. Well,
see, I'm not interested in the cryptocurrency as an investment. If I was, I would be checking the price of everything. No, I'm interested in cryptocurrency as a means to free humanity from the slavery of powerful and corrupt governments. This is what I see. And I apologize to yourself and to your listeners that I do not speak your language well enough to convey what I need to say. So please forgive me, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. McAfee. Have a great day.
Adios, amigos. Hasta la vista. Es posible pronto.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. Okay.
Y esto ha sido todo por hoy. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Recuerden suscribirse a nuestro canal y dejar en los comentarios cualquier tipo de preguntas o dudas para próximos videos. Si tienen alguna otra pregunta sobre John McAfee o sobre el proyecto Ghost, déjenme en los comentarios o escríbanme por Telegram, ya que lo vamos a volver a tener de invitado en el programa. Gracias, hasta la próxima. Chao.